Hi guys. All right. Thanks for joining me this morning. Sorry I had a little bit of an issue just now. Anyway, happy Thursday. Thanks as always for supporting Ironwood and me, and always send requests. That just helps me be a better teacher for you. All right. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose today. All right. And begin to notice how the body moves as you breathe here, yogis. Notice where the weight of the body meets the floor. And relax the jaw. And begin to breathe as if you are pulling air in by expanding the ribs, and the diaphragm is going to move down into the belly. So you want to start to draw air in and then push air out. So you breathe through the nose, not with the nose. Just like we see through the eye, not with the eye. Allow the ribs to expand as you inhale and create that space between the inhale and the exhale, so there's no gripping or retention. It's just a suspension, kind of a hanging out. And then as you exhale, use the ribs and abdominal strength to push out that last little bit at the bottom of the exhale, and then that same space here, that same suspension. So there's no rush or gripping. Just begin to inhale just a little bit later. Reach out through the fingertips, yogis, and walk the hands on over to the right side. Breathe the same way. Walk the hands back to center and then on over to the other side. Nice work, yogis. Walk the hands back to center, keep them shoulder width apart, and start to push down through the shins so you begin to develop that downward current. You just push and let that pop the torso up, keep the arms straight and lean out past the wrists. Sink the hips. Push and lean forward, bring the gaze forward, and inhale now. And then sink the hips and exhale now. Push and lean and bring the gaze forward and inhale. You're going to get a more effective breath here if you wait. And sink the hips and exhale. So this is the breath you want to keep with you as you move through your practice. On this exhale, bring the chin and chest down in between the hands, yogis, and then pull the torso forward so you end up on the belly. Sink the hips and exhale. Push and lean and inhale. Sink the chin and chest and exhale now. Pull the torso forward and inhale. And one more time to child's pose. Push and inhale. Exhale, Ashtangasana. Pull forward, lift the thighs this time, up dog. Use the belly to lift the hips and exhale, down dog. So you can move the hips side to side, walk in place. Take one leg up behind you at a time. Just kind of check it out and breathe the same way. And from your down dog, start to walk the hands back to meet the feet. Keep them hip width apart or maybe a little bit wider. And you can cross the arms or grab opposite elbows, bend the knees here. You can rest on the belly, just whatever. It's really just an opportunity to notice how the body moves as you breathe in this position. Push down through the feet, even here. Start to walk the hands toward the front of the mat. And then walk the feet up to meet the hands. Bring the toes together, keep some space between the heels, yogis, and then begin to push down through the feet and roll on up to standing. One vertebra at a time, no rush. You just end up in Tadasana. Start to push down into the floor. The more you push, the more you can draw energy up and lift the arches of the feet. This is where Mula Bandha begins, is way down there. And push, and lift the kneecaps. Push and draw that energy up and just allow that upward current to lift the thighs and lift up through the inner thighs. So you don't have to put effort into tensing or flexing these muscles. It's these currents that begin to develop just by pushing down and drawing that energy up. Push more, and all of that pushing and lifting is going to lift the pelvic floor and support Mula Bandha. Lift the heart center, take the shoulders down and back, and press the palms together actively. So you create that space in the armpit area. That is a cue that I use often because it's going to help you find your own perfect alignment. All right, all you got to do is push and lift and create space in the armpit area and breathe softly, and the rest will follow along for the ride. We'll go through a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach up overhead and push through the feet. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, bring the gaze forward. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, or come onto the belly, but keep the gaze forward the whole time. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So take the heels apart just enough so that they're out of view here. Reach through the sit bones. And lift the pelvic floor. Just like you're going to push through the feet and lift the arches. On the next inhale, yogis, bring the gaze forward, step or hop or float the feet up. Finish that inhale here. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bring the gaze forward, push and inhale, come on back up to vertical, and exhale. Inhale, push through the feet. Exhale, draw the low belly in and up. Inhale, lengthen. Keep that gaze forward, yogis. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nice work. And keep the front of the legs active. Lifting the toes will help to bring that awareness into the front so you're not just stretching the backs of the legs. On the next inhale, yogis, bring the gaze forward, lift the hips, float the feet up, land softly, maybe lift all the way up to your handstand, who knows. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, back up to vertical. Press the palms together actively. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Same breath we had in child's pose. Lots of space on either side. Inhale, bring the gaze forward, yogis. Lift the hips nice and high, float the feet up, land softly. Exhale, use the belly to pull the torso in closer. Push and inhale, back up to vertical. And exhale. Go ahead and close the eyes. We'll take a few breaths here. Just check in with the breath and with the beat of your heart. And go ahead and hop the feet hip width apart, yogis. Sink the hips, plant the hands shoulder width apart. So we'll come right into Bakasana here. Ideally, your hands are wide enough apart for your butt to fit in between them. Maybe, like in my case, I'm taking my hands much wider now. So I want to start with the feet hip width apart, not together, and try to keep the knees right in line. So you're just kind of scooping that belly and delivering the knees into the armpits or onto the backs of the arms. Use the inner thighs and pull them toward each other and draw that belly in and up. And then exhale, take a vinyasa. We'll do that a couple more times. Go ahead and inhale, float forward, maybe land on the backs of the arms, and come right back into Bakasana, or hop forward, kind of futz around getting into it. All right, totally up to you. Make sure your hands are wide enough apart, not just for your butt to fit in between them, but if they're too close and then you jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana, your hands are super close like this, it's gonna fuck your shoulders up. Take my word for it. All right, so you wanna make sure your hands are wide enough and you can keep that external rotation in Chaturanga, not crunching those shoulders forward with your hands really close. All right, take a vinyasa, and we're gonna do this a couple more times. Inhale, float forward and keep the gaze forward always when you are, any opportunity you have to keep the gaze forward,
just do that. Don't look back at your feet when you're working on an arm balance, for sure, especially not this one. So scoop that belly. Pull the inner thighs together. My back is saying no today. Yeah. No. All right, take a vinyasa. We'll do that one more time. So if you are working on jumping forward, we've been working on those jump backs and jumping forward, landing with straight legs. So if that type of practice is really going to help you with jumping out of and jumping into crow pose. And it's really, the key to winning is to always keep the gaze forward. So right now you are in crow, I'm sure of it. Not really crow, bakasana, which is really crane, but whatever. Generic term. Scoop that belly. Pull the inner thighs together more. And draw into your center. So it's all those dynamics that are going to lift you up nice and high in crow pose, okay? Having very little to do with upper body strength. Just keep pulling into your center. Then exhale, take a vinyasa. Nice. So we're going to work on those jumps this morning. Keep the gaze forward, and you're going to bend the knees a lot, lift the hips and jump forward, bend the knees a lot, and then jump back. Keep the gaze forward as much as possible. Don't look at your feet doing this because you're never going to get anywhere. So jump forward and back, keep the gaze forward, and it's really all about lifting the hips nice and high. And this is one of a few things not taught in yoga, which is coordination. So that's super important. So jump and lift the hips. We're going to do this about maybe 5 more times. Jump forward, jump back, get the hips nice and high, and keep the gaze forward. All right? 3 more jumps. Jump forward. Just think about how high can you get your butt up over your shoulders and land softly. You're going to bend with both. You're going to land with bent knees both sides. Jump back, bend your knees. Jump forward, bend your knees. Okay? So probably 1 more jump. All right, and then we will do the second version here where you're going to bend the knees a lot, lift the hips and straighten the legs. All right, so keep doing that. Keep the gaze forward. Do not look at your feet. Land softly. All right, bend the knees, spring up, straighten the legs. So this is where that coordination comes in. Sometimes what will happen in this is you kind of end up in like this flying plank kind of shape. Think more about your hips rather than where your feet are going. Just lift your hips nice and high and then land back in that down dog length. All right. Good. Jump 5 more times, okay? Lift, straighten the legs, and land with bent knees. This is good for you. And land softly. That is the key to getting into things gracefully, is learning how to get out of them gracefully. Just like relationships. All right. Good job. So we'll meet up in down dog, and then go ahead and bring the gaze forward and float right back into bakasana. So scoop that belly. Oh, damn it. Pull the thighs together one more time. Lift super high. Forget about arm strength. Keep the gaze forward and just think about your belly pulling in and up. All right? And then take a vinyasa. Nice work, yogis. Okay, from your down dog, bring the right foot forward, come onto the outer edge of the back foot, push and inhale, warrior one. You can do whatever you want with your shoulders. Keep the gaze wherever you want. Just focus on pushing through the feet, drawing energy up, and lift the pelvic floor. So it's all about stability. The gaze, the drishti will find its way. And plant the hands, step back, exhale, take a vinyasa. Left foot forward, come onto the outer edge of the back foot, keep that gaze forward, push and inhale. Warrior one, on the other side. Fine with me if this hip rolls back a little bit, just think about where the rib cage is. The gaze forward, yogis. Take a vinyasa. Right foot forward, come onto the outer edge of the back foot. Push and inhale, warrior two. Fine with me if this hip rolls forward, just think about the rib cage. And plant those hands, exhale. Left foot forward. Outer edge of the back foot, push and inhale, warrior two. Keep that rib cage to the side. Don't worry about the hips, okay? Plant the hands, exhale. From your down dog, right foot forward, not quite as far forward as you would for warrior one. Push and inhale, take the arms wide, reach, and exhale, Uttita Trikonasana. Push through the back foot and create space in the armpit area. Whether you have your hand on the inside edge or the pinky toe side or wherever, make sure there's not a lot of weight on it. I kind of like to rest my arm on my shin and come into Gyan Mudra. Exhale, bring the gaze to the toes, yogis. Level out the hips and shoulders. Take a vinyasa. Left foot forward. Push and inhale. Reach and exhale. So easy. Push through the back foot more. We had in child's pose. Exhale, bring the gaze to the toes. Level out the hips and shoulders. And take a vinyasa. Nice work. Right foot forward, yogis. Push and inhale, bring the torso forward and pick that back leg up. Ardha Chandrasana. Push through both feet. Mula Bandha. Bring the gaze to the mat, yogis. Level out the hips and shoulders. And just jump right into your vinyasa. Left foot forward, push, move the torso forward. The back leg's gonna maybe follow along for the ride. Push through both feet evenly. Space in the armpit area, space between each side of the breath. My weird side, you should be rolling your hip up more than I am. And this is perfect balance between effort and surrender. And then level out the hips and shoulders, yogis. Nice work. Right foot forward, come onto the outer edge of the back foot, kind of get that heel in line with the arch. Inhale, warrior two, and then exhale, bring the elbow to the knee or bring that hand all the way to the mat, Utthita Parshva. So if you have your hand on the inside edge or the outside edge, push the knee into the arm and resist back with the arm. If it's in the front, push and resist here. Use the outer edge of the back foot more. And try not to like stretch. Maybe lift the hips, keep the knee right over the ankle. So we're not just stretching. Create resistance where you can. Keep the bend in the front knee. Inhale, warrior two. And then exhale. Left foot forward, yogis. Push and inhale. And then exhale. Utthita Parshva Konasana. I'm going to keep my elbow up here so that I can keep that integrity in the shoulder girdle. Make sure there's not a lot of weight if you are hanging out on the thigh. Push through the back foot more. And Mula Bandha. Inhale. Exhale. Nice work, yogis. Go ahead and bring that right foot forward. Keep the feet kind of hip width apart here. Push and inhale. My feet aren't that far away from each other either. Maybe get some reverse Anjali Mudra or just grab opposite elbows. Push and inhale. Get lots of length. Take a couple of breaths here. And then come on into a forward fold. Keep the gaze forward, yogis.
reach for the toes through the heart center here. Inhale, lengthen, and then release the hands. Plant them shoulder width apart, and then take that back leg all the way up behind you. Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana. Push through that standing foot and use the belly to pull the torso in more. That's what's going to get that leg up. And breathe. Keep that top leg active, not just hanging out up there. Inhale, lengthen, plant the hands shoulder width apart. You can do a few hops here. Or just take a vinyasa. We'll meet up in down dog. Bring the left foot forward, not too far forward. Push and inhale. Get that clasp behind the back here, yogis. Get lots of length. Take a few breaths here. And then exhale into a forward fold. Padmottanasana. Keep the legs active. Push and inhale, let that push down, pop that torso up, and then release the hands. Plant them shoulder width apart. You can start those little lifts here, or no, we're gonna take the leg up behind us first. Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana, and use the belly to pull. So even like on this side, my leg isn't as high, but it's still as active, and it's still the same pose. So keep this leg active and push down through the standing leg more and use the belly more. And inhale, lengthen, plant the hands shoulder width apart. And you can do those little hops here if you like. Do about 3 or 4 hops. And then we'll meet up in down dog. Nice work, yogis. Inhale forward to a plank position. And exhale onto the belly. Reach back for the tops of the feet or the ankles. Kick and inhale. Dhanurasana. You really want to lift the thighs further up away from the floor here. You want to get all of the weight on the belly. Kick back and pull. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Come on over to the right side. Bring the gaze up over the shoulder so you can see the top foot.
Kick into the hands more. And inhale onto the belly. And exhale over to the other side. Kick more. And make sure that bottom leg is in the game. It's really easy for that bottom leg to forget what it's supposed to be doing. So kick more into the hand. Look up at that top foot. Inhale onto the belly, yogis. And go ahead and release. Tuck the toes, plant the hands right alongside the rib cage. Lift up and take a vinyasa. Nice work. Inhale forward to a plank position. I'm going to turn around and glue the palms right to the sides of the thighs here, yogis. And roll on top of that right arm. Samanasana. Taking my bracelet off because every time I do this it like flattens out my bracelet. So Samanasana, same asana. Asana means position comfortably held. So same position comfortably held, same as everything else we do. Keep some space between the heels. If you're standing in Tadasana, what's it going to look like? What are your feet going to look like? What's your head going to look like? So lift that head up. If your neck is uncomfortable, shove a block or something under your head, okay? And then lift that top leg up only as high as you can with the toes pointing straight ahead. So we still want to keep that internal rotation here. Push into the floor through the bottom leg. And keep that bottom arm straight. Don't bend that elbow. Then turn the toes straight up toward the sky and hold on to the foot or the toe. You can hold on to the knee as well, whatever gives you more stability. As I'm falling out of it. Keep pushing. No, get out of here. Yogis, bring that leg down just halfway. Turn the toes toward in the same direction as those bottom toes again, and now lift that bottom foot up to meet that top foot, all right? You want to get lots of lift. You can use that top hand for a little bit of support like I am. Lift a little bit higher. And then fling onto the belly, all right? Do that on the side. You can glue that left hand to the thigh, right on top of the arm. And keep the head lifted. Or tuck something underneath it. And lift the top leg up only as high as you can with that internal rotation. Push through the bottom leg more. And then turn those toes straight up toward the ceiling and then reach for the foot or the toe or hold on to the knee. Push through the bottom leg. and push into this hand. And release the leg just halfway. Come back to that internal rotation and pick the bottom leg up to meet the top leg. Lift up a little bit higher. And then fling onto the belly, yogis. Bring your hands right by the ribs, down by the waist. Push and inhale. And exhale, down dog. Nice work. So let's go ahead and work on some inversions. Now, handstands, forearm balance, headstand or shoulder stand, whatever you want to do. We work at the wall pretty effectively here, so you know how to walk the feet up or kick up at the wall, whatever you're working on, and I'll go through some options here for you. All right, if you like shoulder stand, go for it. But wherever you are, make sure that you keep the legs really active. All right, it's easy to just kind of let the legs hang out while you're upside down. So even in shoulder stand, yogis, if that's where you're going, always reach up and keep the legs super energized, okay? So anything you want to work on, if you're walking the feet up the wall, use that top foot to push the hips up over the shoulders. All right. You can do the same thing in forearm balance, same thing in headstand. Don't get too attached to what you think it's supposed to look like or how you should be doing it, especially if you're still just kind of working on inversions at the wall. The real key here is that you teach the nervous system that this shape is totally fine, that it's okay to be upside down on your hands or on your forearms or on your head or on your shoulders. All right, so usually shoulder stand is taught to beginners and handstand is considered advanced. I would have to say that it's entirely the other way around, that handstands are better if you're new to inversions, and shoulder stand would be much later on in your practice, once you've conditioned everything to be able to carry the weight of that body in that shape, okay? So handstands, kicking up at the wall, or you use that top foot, and then just, you know, we start to increase the strength and endurance in the shoulder girdle. You can bring one foot up, keep the legs active. Either way, okay? We're gonna stay upside down for a few more minutes. And I really mean it when I say, just email me if you have questions about any of this stuff. If you aren't, because we're all doing this, you know, solo yet together, then it's hard for you to get feedback from teachers. So just send me a video of something that you're doing, and I will 100% help you with wherever you are and wherever it is that you want to go. Just send me a video. Super easy, okay? All right. You wouldn't be the only one doing it. Believe me, other people do it. Lots of other yogis do it. So I'm really happy to help. And then I know where you are and what I need to do here anyway, okay? So let's stay upside down. If you're, you know, you can keep working on handstands or move into Pinchamayurasana or headstand, either way. We keep everything active wherever you are. If you're in headstand, push through the forearms more and lift the shoulders up. Make sure you're not way down here like this. Lots of space. These last few breaths here, wherever you are. Take a couple of breaths in child's pose if you like. And we'll meet up in down dog, however you care to get there. And inhale forward to a plank position, yogis. Open up to Vajrasthasana, come onto that right hand and take that top foot way back behind you. We'll come into this back bend version. Push through both feet and push through the hand. Inhale back to Vajrasthasana. And exhale, take a Vinyasa. Inhale forward, open up to Vajrasthasana, and then take that top foot way back behind you. Inhale back to Vajrasthasana. Nice work. Yogis, from your down dog, go ahead and bring that right foot forward. And bring the back leg through nice and straight for Marichyasana A. Come into a forward fold, internal rotation, reach around behind you. Get a clasp behind the back. Keep the gaze forward and reach for the toes through the heart center. This butt cheek has to be up off the mat, okay? Inhale, lengthen, and then go ahead and release. Lean back, draw the belly in, and push the torso up into Marichyasana C. Push through whatever part of the body is touching the floor. That includes this foot. And Mula Bandha even here. Do something better with your arm than what I'm doing. Inhale, bring the gaze back to center, yogis. Release that twist. Push off of this front foot, lift, and take a Vinyasa. Left foot forward, bring the gaze forward, bring that back leg through nice and straight. Keep lots of length along the front of the body, Marichyasana A. Get that left butt cheek up off the mat. Squeeze the leg and resist back with the leg. Don't just hang out here. Mula Bandha. Inhale, lengthen. Go ahead and release. Lean back. Draw the belly in. Then use this hand to push up into this twist. Vriksasana C. Push and keep everything active. Inhale, bring the gaze back to center. And release the twist, push off of this foot. Do it better than me and take a vinyasa. Nice work. From your down dog, inhale, jump through. And exhale, lie on the back. So you can bend the knees, plant the feet hip width apart, lift up to bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Push and inhale. And lift. And exhale, come on down. Do one more round, bridge pose or upward bow pose. Totally up to you. Push and inhale. And exhale, release. Nice work, yogis. Straighten the legs, push through the elbows. Come on to the top of the head for Matsyasana. You can keep the legs straight or lift the legs and the arms up. Press the palms together actively. And release. Take the feet wide, take the arms wide. Take a nice deep inhale. Let gravity take over. Relax the jaw. Let the tongue drop from the roof of the mouth. And gently begin to bring the awareness back into the body. And take a deep inhale. And relax even more deeply. Begin to move fingers and toes. And circle the ankles and wrists. And roll the arms and legs in and out. And turn the head to one side and then the other. Take a big stretch up overhead and stretch in whatever way feels natural for you. Hug the knees to the chest and roll all the way over onto your left side. And then all the way over onto your right side, and come on up to a seated position. Keep the eyes closed. Bring your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra, where we connect our everyday self with our infinite self, yogis. And let's go ahead and chant one Om. Take a deep inhale. Allow a smile to spread across the face. We are all one. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Super Waheguru. Fearlessness and mercy at all times. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.